awesome segue. And Andrew from New Zealand is part of the New Zealand GEG. He's going to talk about a Chromebook trial that he did for teachers, and let us know how that went. Andrew, you all good to go?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it looks like you can hear me. Thanks for that, Mike. And a shout out to Donna, Resource Queen. Great to have you on the same call, Donna. You follow her on Twitter, get all their good resources. It's legend. And also Dan on the call from Sydney 19. Buy his book. It's wicked. Listen to his podcast. So yeah, great to share some time with you guys as well. Yeah, I'm here to talk about Chromebook teacher trial. So Steve put this out, I think, at the beginning of the year. Does anyone want to try using a Chromebook as a teaching device? Put my hand up. And it arrived at the beginning of the term. So of course, the first thing you do with a new device is just plaster it with stickers. So that's it there in the picture. So yeah, I guess the query was, can you replace a Mac or PC that you've used as a teacher with a Chromebook? So I'm now 6 weeks into that. And here's my insights. If you just go on to the next slide there, Steve. So a couple of things. There's obviously a heap of variety of Chromebooks. So the one that I've got right here in the screen, so it's a Lenovo Yoga 13 ThinkPad. And the ThinkPad looks familiar from an IBM laptop back in the day. I'm not quite sure if that's because I noticed the little funny wee mouse thing in the middle there that I remember from back in the day with the new IBM laptop. So really awesome device, and it comes in a heap of configurations. The thing that I love about it, so I've been using a Mac for ages, and the latest MacBooks are very limited with ports. Like the 13-inch MacBook that I've got now, it's got 2 ports, USB-C. So you're always dealing with dongles. Well, this thing's just got ports. So HDMI, USB-C, USB-A, and the micro SD. So having the flexibility with all those ports is awesome. This model is a touchscreen, and I've been surprised at how much I use the touchscreen just in my normal sort of day-to-day pointing and clicking. And in particular, we've got a bit of a rubbish print dialogue system when we're printing at school. It's got a click here, and then a window jumps to another part of the screen, and click here, and then a third click to print. Well, doing it on touchscreen is just awesome. It's yeah. And then yeah, tablet mode with stylus, and you can see some pictures there, with my year 10 maths class, and just being able to sit beside kids, and rather than do on paper, which you probably traditionally do, by doing it digitally, that then saves a copy that can be shared with guys who weren't there, or students can look at later. So the stylus and the tablet mode is really awesome. Let's flick along to the next one. Oh yeah, I was meant to show you. So the first thing that I did with the stylus mode, and I'm not quite sure if it's going to show up that well in the small camera, was Google Keep, and it's just got this great little sketch tool. So I tried to do a little painting of my holiday snappy in Milford track. So it's really great to play around with. All right, now I think we're ready for the next one.
Peter just asked which app you're using to take notes, but you just said Keep, didn't you?
Yeah, Google Keep. Yeah, it's amazing. The drawing tools on Keep are really good. Heaps better than actually Google Draw, I've found. Nice. Just flick to the next one along. Yeah, so to manage to not to manage. So I had teething problems in the first week or so. So the IT department, because it was the only teacher Chromebook, basically copied the policies from a student organizational unit. And so just had all these restrictions, getting really frustrating, just weird stuff like putting formulas in spreadsheets, clicking with cell references, and lots of extensions not working. I was just trying to unpick that, and they just said, oh, look, we'll just unmanage it. So unmanaged it, then all good. Still a few little fish hooks, like the way the Wi-Fi set up, because it needed to be on a certain Wi-Fi network to be able to Chromecast, different than the students. And there's still some restrictions. So I guess in my experience, familiarity with your IT team with managing a teacher Chromebook, because the sense I got, they weren't willing to spend a bit of time getting the right policies in place for the teacher user group, given that I was the only one using it. So from a school that 99% of the teachers use Mac books, yeah, there was a bit of a learning curve, I think, for our IT team. So if you're looking to dive in, that would be something to look out for. On to the next one. Yeah, there were some quirks. So it is a new OS to learn. So even though some things are same, but some things are different. So it's taken me a bit of a while to quickly find changing display options and sound output. A real quirky one for us here in New Zealand is most secondary schools use Kmart as their student information system, and it is web accessible, but there's a few dumb things that make me have to switch back to my MacBook. Like you can see the error message there. I can't, where on my MacBook, I can download data as PDFs and CSV files. For whatever reason, I can't on my Chromebook. And I think the issue is with the Kmart software rather than the Chromebook. So, you know, those are the times when I have to shelve the Chromebook and go back to the MacBook. Yeah, getting the macrons installed. Opening an Excel spreadsheet with macros doesn't play too nicely. So there's been a couple of examples there. And yeah, the setting up multiple accounts. So my workflow with Google Chrome has been, I've got my user school account, which has got my school extensions. And then I've got my, you know, I flip to my personal profile if I'm Facebook or Twitter or some of my own stuff in Gmail or Drive. And because I can't set up multiple sign-ins due to the settings on my school account, I haven't had that flexibility. So that's been a bit of a getting used to, and there's obviously a workaround, but I just haven't got to it yet. So those are some of the initial frustrations. And maybe flip to the last one. I think it's the last one. Yeah, so why might a school adopt Chromebooks for their teachers? Well, yeah, there's more options. There's a wide range of device features. For me, if I was going to get one again, I'd certainly get this style, but with a world-facing camera and the finger scan, that sort of top of the scale. Yeah, it'd be really good to use a tablet as a tablet with that world-facing camera. It's really affordable with the TELA scheme in New Zealand. So Kiwi teachers will be familiar with that. Chromebooks are free through the TELA scheme. So if you compare that with the MacBook that I've got, which is $60 a quarter, scale that up in a school of 100 teachers, our school's paying, you know, almost $40,000 a year for our teachers to have MacBooks. You know, that's almost a teacher aid. That's quite a bit of resource. And most teachers would only need a Chromebook, I think. There's a few, you know, specialist subjects that want the power of your InDesign or Photoshop. But I think for 99% of what an average teacher would use, a Chromebook's got it all. Easy enterprise management, and yeah, just what you need, nothing that you don't for most people. Betcha, you had a question.
Yeah, Andrew, I thought it was an interesting thing you said when you went into the student OU and then you got so frustrated by all the restrictions. And I just wondered, like, do kids get as frustrated by those restrictions as well?
The restrictions, maybe that wasn't the best use of the word. It was the extensions that I have been using not working, like TextBlaze.
Right.
Just that was like, I was almost going to throw this thing through the window. I can't use TextBlaze. I spent about an hour trying to problem solve it because that saves me so much time. So it was more, I guess, teacher-centric extensions. I couldn't work out why the formulas and sheets was being funky.
Yeah,
so yeah. But again, unmanaged, no issues.
Yeah, I was going to say too, the multiple Google account thing, that should be solvable. That's a setting in your admin console that they're enforcing that on you.
Yeah. So I think, you know, and there's probably teachers on the call who they do use Chromebooks in their school. That's the main teacher device. I think it's just probably a bit of an IT side, not skill set, but you know, how they're best used for a teacher in the settings.
Yeah,
and
Dan's just put a good point in the chat there about the use of the Chromebooks there in his school. It was a good point, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, the number of times I've power washed this thing, and it just so crazy.
I was just going to add, Andrew, that it sounds like that. I think the Yoga that you're using uses a USI stylus. So Universal Stylus Initiative. It's like all the manufacturers got together and said, let's make a standard for styluses. And it's interesting. This is one I bought on eBay. And I don't know, it cost me $60 or $70 or something. And I've never really liked it. It's got a really noisy tip on it when you're writing and stuff. And you got to press and hold a button to turn it on. And it's got an old style plug on the back of it to charge it. And Logitech just released this one. I just got this yesterday, and it's a USB-C charger. So it's the same charger as the laptop, as the Chromebook. And it doesn't require to be turned on and off. As soon as you pick it up, it realizes it's in use and it turns itself on. And you put it down and it turns itself off. It's super comfortable and has a really good writing tip on it. So yeah, I just got this yesterday to try out, and I love it. It's really good if you're using a USI stylus. So just thought I'd throw that in.
Nice. Hey, no, so Andrew's been one of our early adopters, and we're coming back together as a group in a little while to get all this great feedback and basically put it all together so we know what we can tell schools who want to go for Chromebooks. So thanks for sharing that, Connie. That's awesome. Hey, macrons, if you go up to your profile picture, click on it, go manage your account. You can switch on input tools and it'll give you macrons across every app you use that you're logged into.
Oh, I don't need to install the input tools extension.
No. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Hey, up here, can you just say that once more, Steve?
Yeah, so if you go up to your Google account at the top, click on your photo, go to manage account, and then you can go down to input tools and you can select the Māori keyboard and the Māori scribbly bit. And then what you do basically is choose your Māori keyboard. It's the whatever's on the tilde button, and then A, and it'll do a macron on across everything. A, O, and U as well. So nice little tip.